I am making a Face Knight Egyptian God deck profile. I've liked this deck ever since it was released in King's Court, and I feel like it's just the best deck to use for the Egyptian God cards, which for some reason I keep finding myself wanting to build a deck around, as unusual as that is. But I figured, I like the deck enough, I might as well make an updated deck profile for it. So starting off with the monsters, I play 3 copies of Imperial Bower. Imperial Bower has the effect of, if you control no other monsters, you contribute it to take 2 different monsters from your deck among Queen's Knight, King's Knight, or Jack's Knight, and either add them to your hand or summon them. You can only use that effect of Imperial Bower once per turn. Then I play 2 copies of Queen's Knight, 2 copies of King's Knight, and 2 copies of Jack's Knight. King's Knight is the only effect monster among these 3, and its effect is if it's normal summoned while you control a Queen's Knight, you can take a Jack's Knight from your hand or deck and special summon it. Then I play 3 copies of Joker's Knight. Joker's Knight lets you send Jack's Knight, King's Knight, or Queen's Knight from your deck to the grave to summon it itself, and then it gets to copy that monster's name. And then during the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can shuffle 1 Light Warrior from your graveyard back into the deck to return it to your hand. Then I play the 1 copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra, 2 copies of Slifer the Sky Dragon, 2 copies of Obelisk the Tormentor. Each of these monsters can only be summoned by attributing 3 monsters. The Winged Dragon of Ra is the only one among them that cannot be special summoned, and then Obelisk and Slifer, if they're special summoned, then during the end phase, they get sent to the graveyard, which I do not like because I used to use Mallet Bound Creator when they were special summoned to keep them from destroying themselves. But since the Egyptian God structure decks, they've sent themselves to the grave during the end phase, so that no longer works. But anyway, the unique parts of them. Obelisk can contribute 2 monsters to destroy all your opponent's monsters, but it can attack and use this effect. Also, Obelisk cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. The Winged Dragon of Ra has the effect of when it's tribute summoned, you can pay all but 100 of your life points to then increase this attack by the amount paid. Or its attack and defense, I mean. And then once per turn, then you can pay 1,000 life points to destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. So the Winged Dragon of Ra tends to eat your life points. And then Slifer's effect, it gains 1,000 attack for each monster or each card in your hand. And then if your opponent summons a monster in attack position, then it loses 2,000 attack points. And then if its attack points were reduced to 0, it's destroyed. The only monsters that I know that can survive Slifer are monsters that have higher than 2,000 attack or 0 attack, because a monster can't lose attack points if it already had nothing. Then I play 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode, just to deal with opponent's boards. And this deck doesn't mind having to give up its normal summon, since this deck does have other ways of normal summoning. That's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. Also, the Egyptian God cards, Ra is my favorite among them, which I think is actually kind of funny since Ra gets the most support. I play 1 copy of Double or Nothing just for the Utopia thing. Then I play 1 copy of Rank Up Magic Numeron Force. This card, it lets you target 1 number monster you control, especially on 1 chaos number that has the same number in its name. So you can target number 39 in order to summon a chaos number 39 that's 1 rank higher. And then after that monster is summoned, this card will negate the effects of all their face-up cards on the field other than itself and the chaos number you summon. So I just like that it's a mass negation card. Then I play 1 copy of Fist of Fate, 1 copy of Blaze Cannon, and 2 copies of Thunder Force attack. Thunder Force, each of these cards can only be activated while you control the Egyptian god of the corresponding card. Thunder Force attack can only be activated while you control Slifer. Fist of Fate can only be activated while you control Obelisk, and Blaze Cannon can only be activated while you control the Winged Dragon of Ra. Thunder Force attack lets you, essentially Raigeki, that lets you draw for each monster destroyed if activated on your turn. Fist of Fate lets you negate the effects of one face-up monster your opponent controls and then send it to the graveyard. And then if you activate it on your turn, it's a Harpy's Feather Duster. And then Blaze Cannon lets you activate its effects so that the Winged Dragon of Ra gains all of its effects. So that way it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects. When an attack is declared involving that monster, you contribute any number of other monsters that have not declared an attack this turn. It gains attack equal to those tributed monsters' original attack till the end of the turn. And after damage calculation, if this card attacked, you can send all monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. So I just like it because it makes the Winged Dragon of Ra very overpowered. Which is something most people don't expect with the Winged Dragon of Ra. They don't expect it to be overpowered. Then I play 3 copies of Thunderspeed Summon. Thunderspeed Summon has the effect during the main or battle phase. Immediately after it resolves, you can normal summon a level 10 monster. Or if you control Queen's Knight, King's Knight, and Jack's Knight, you can apply its another effect instead, which lets you add a level 10 non-dark monster with question mark for attack from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 level 10 monster. So what this does is, if you control King's Knight, Queen's Knight, and Jack's Knight, you can search your deck for either Slifer the Sky Dragon or the Winged Dragon of Ra, and then immediately normal summon it. Most time I'll search for Slifer the Sky Dragon. Then I play 3 copies of Joker's Straight. Joker's Straight has the effect of you can discard a card, then special summon a Queen's Knight from your deck, search your deck for a King's Knight, and then afterwards you can normal summon 1 monster. So what you typically do with this is you summon Queen's Knight, summon King's Knight, or search for King's Knight, normal summon that King's Knight, then special summon a Jack's Knight from your deck, and then that gives you those 3, so then you activate Thunderspeed Summon to then summon Slifer the Sky Dragon after searching for it. So off of just 3 cards, you get an Egyptian God card. And you haven't normal summoned yet. Also, Joker's Straight has the effect of you can send a light warrior from your graveyard back to your deck during the end phase to then return Joker's Straight to your hand. Then for the last spell in the deck, I play 3 copies of Soul Crossing. Soul Crossing has the effect of during the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute 3 monsters, or tribute some 1 Divine Beast monster, and then when you do, you contribute a monster or monsters your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. But if you do tribute summon this way, applies effect. Until the end phase of that turn, you can only activate 1 card effect. So pretty much what this card does is it's essentially another copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode, where you just tribute 3 of your opponent's monsters and then summon your own Egyptian God card. Kind of like how Kaiba did with against Yugi in the anime, which is exactly what this card is based off of. Moving on to the traps. I played 2 copies of Ultimate Divine Beast. Ultimate Divine Beast has the effect of when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard a spell or a trap card, then target 1 Divine Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position, then change the attack target to it. Then during the end phase, if you control a Divine Beast monster, if you control a Divine Beast monster, you can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls that activate their effects on the field this turn. You can only use each effective Ultimate Divine Beast once per turn. I've honestly thought about taking Ultimate Divine Beast out of this deck for triple tactics talent, just because this is a Ghost second deck, so having Ultimate Divine Beast doesn't really help that much. And then I do play 3 copies of Joker's Wild. Joker's Wild, it has the effect of you can activate it so that during the main phase or battle phase, you can send a spell card from your deck to the grave that lists King's Knight, Queen's Knight, and Jack's Knight to then apply its effect. So you can activate this and either send Joker Straight or Thunderspeed Summon to then copy the effect of the card. And the downside is it copies all of it, so if you send the Joker Straight, you still have to discard. But that is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. Where is the extra deck? There it is. So starting off with Link Monsters, I play 2 copies of Isolde, the 2 Tales of the Noble Knights, and the 1 copy of Arcana Extra Joker. Isolde in this deck only has the use of when it's Link summoned to search for a Light Warrior monster. Or, I don't think it has to be Light Warrior, just a Warrior monster, but you can't summon it or activate the effects of cards with the same name until the end of the turn. And then Arcana Extra Joker just acquires 3 Warrior monsters with different names. Once per turn, when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated that targets this face-up card or a monster it points to, quick effect, you can discard the same type of card, being monster, spell, or trap, to negate the activation if you do destroy it. And then, if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 Warrior normal monster from your deck, and if you do, add 1 level 4 Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. So when this dies, you essentially summon a Queen's Knight and then search for a King's Knight. But I don't really summon these 3 that often, but they're still nice to have there. Then I play 2 copies of Heroic Champion Excalibur. Excalibur acquires 2 level 4 warrior monsters, and then once per turn you can detach 2 materials from it to then double its original attack till the end of your opponent's next turn. So I just like it because it can suddenly be 4,000, which is just as big as Obelisk. Or the Winged Dragon of Ra when you summon it off of the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode's effect. Then I play the 1 copy of Illuminite. Illuminite requires 3 level 4 warriors, so Illuminite doesn't really come out that much. But I do still like to have Illuminite as an option. But the reason the extra deck so far has only been Light Warriors is because of the effect of Joker Straight that I realized I forgot about. Which is when you activate that effect, you cannot summon from the extra deck except for Light Warriors. But Illuminite lets you use a material, discard a card, and then draw a card. So I just like it because you can use a material, discard a Joker card, draw a card, and then during the end phase, you can turn that Warrior you discarded back to the deck to return that Joker card back to your hand. Then I play 3 copies of number 39 Utopia. Utopia can just detach a material to negate an attack. And then if it's attacked while it has no materials, it then self-destructs. Then I play the 1 copy of number 39 Utopia Double. Utopia Double is the reason you play Double or Nothing in this deck, being that you summon it, use a material, take a Double or Nothing from your deck to your hand, and then use it to summon a Utopia on top of it, and then its attack points are doubled. So then you have the Utopia attack, activate the Double, use a material so that it negates its own attack, activate the Double or Nothing, now it's 10,000. Then I play 1 copy of Chaos number 39 Utopia Ray and Shining number 39 Utopia Prime. These are only in here as stepping stones for the 2 copies of Shining number 39 Utopia Double. Utopia Double has the effect of when it battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects till the end of the damage step. And then when it attacks, or when it battles, you can detach 2 materials from it to then double its attack till the end of the damage step. So essentially, you have an attack, detach 2, it becomes 5,000. Or your opponent attacks it, you detach 2, its attack becomes 5,000. And then the last card in the extra deck I play is the 1 copy of Chaos number 39 Utopia Ray V. Utopia Ray V has the effect of when this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, or by you can target 1 Xyz monster in your graveyard, return that target to the extra deck, and then this card has a Utopia monster as material when it was destroyed. Oh no. It's been a while since I actually read this card. I only ever used the effect it has Utopia as material. Let's see. So if this thing dies, you just take a Xyz monster from your grave, return it to the extra deck. And then if it has Utopia as material, once returning detach a material from it, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if it was and then you can deal damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack points. Make sure, because I haven't read this card for a while. Okay, the best part about this card's effect is if your opponent has a set monster, you can destroy that set monster and then burn your opponent for that monster's attack points. But that is it for the extra deck. If you have any ideas why you need to improve the deck, any ideas of other deck decks you make, or deck decks you face each other, feel free to comment those below. Thanks for watching.